What is going on, crypto fiends? Ramertol here. Today we are going to be discussing the main reasons behind this cryptocurrency dip, as well as talking about, is this your chance to get involved and buy some cryptocurrency? All of this coming up. So today I want to talk about the main reasons we have experienced such a massive drop in crypto, and also talking about, is this maybe your opportunity to get involved into some cryptocurrencies that you have been holding off on. First off, I want to briefly go over the market to give you guys an overall view of where we currently stand. As you guys can see, the majority of altcoins are down drastically right now. We have Bitcoin down 12%, sitting around $8,400, where it is gaining a large level of support. Ethereum down 12%. Of course, Tether is up. We have Bitcoin Cash down 21%. Same with Bitcoin SV. A handful of altcoins are down in the double digits. Honestly, just a complete bloodbath, and you hate to see it, but we are going to be diving into the main reasons behind this. I personally think there were a couple factors that played into this overall sort of snowball effect, and the first one being the backed exchange. If you're not familiar with the backed exchange, it's a cryptocurrency exchange owned by ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, that owns the New York Stock Exchange. So Bakkt has been in development for almost 2 years now, and they announced their first launch back in August of last year in 2018. But of course, things were delayed further and further and further, and over a year later, here we are, and the Bakkt exchange has launched this week. To be honest with you guys, it was a complete underwhelming launch, very disappointing. A lot of people expected a large influx of money to come into the space, institutional money, but we sort of saw the complete opposite. If we're going to be honest with you guys, we saw a total one of 61 Bitcoin traded on the Bakkt exchange. This is definitely very underwhelming compared to a lot of the other future cryptocurrency markets. A perfect example is the BitMEX exchange, where they trade $8 billion a day. Today they're trading $8 billion and nearly 1 million Bitcoin traded on the BitMEX exchange in 1 day, comparing to the Bakkt exchange, where we have a total of 61 Bitcoin. So as you guys can see the difference, this is honestly a joke. To be fair, it is their first day. Maybe we will see exponential growth over time. I'm not bashing on Bakkt completely, because it is a great thing that they did launch this platform. It's going to help over time bring a big money into the cryptocurrency space, and of course that is what we want in the grand scheme of things. So that is the first reason behind why I think we did see a drop in cryptocurrencies, in Bitcoin specifically, and of course that trickling down into the altcoins, is because a lot of hype was built around this Bakkt launch. A lot of people got into the cryptocurrency space and was holding Bitcoin specifically for this launch, hoping that there was going to be a big influx of money. And that does not mean it still can't happen. It just didn't happen the first day of their launch, and I feel like a lot of people got very discouraged from this. Secondly, we did have some very interesting trading action happening in the cryptocurrency space yesterday. $1.2 billion was transferred around 3 p.m. And it was sent to a cryptocurrency exchange. This triggered Bitcoin to fall nearly 11%, totaling $5.3 billion transacted in the past 24 hours. I find this very fascinating that in the grand scheme, $1.2 billion can cause such a big snowball effect in the overall cryptocurrency space, which caused this price dump. With the Bakkt news, it's not looking good, and we also had a very fascinating drop in hash rate for Bitcoin as well, where Bitcoin dropped nearly 40% in hash rate. Now, if you guys are not familiar with hash rate, that's pretty much the computing power behind the blocks that are developed for Bitcoin. So every block that's developed, new Bitcoins are produced. When the hash rate drops, it takes longer for those blocks to be found. So when this dropped nearly 40%, that is very shocking. But it has recovered and gone back to normal levels, so that's nothing to necessarily worry about now, but it is something to take into consideration when it comes to this playing into the overall snowball effect of all these other things happening. And lastly, I do want to briefly go over some technical analysis. Now, by all means, I am not an expert when it comes to technical analysis, but I do feel like technical analysis plays such an important role in the price movement of Bitcoin compared to news. Bitcoin really just shakes off news like it's nothing else. And when it comes to the actual technical side of things, Bitcoin is usually on the money. So currently, as you guys can see, we are looking at the 1-day chart for Bitcoin, and these yellow lines is a descending triangle. This is indicating that we are going down, and we have been going down for quite some time. But last night we did really go down, as you guys can see, but luckily we are holding the support now around $8,400. We did break through this line, but we did recover, thankfully. Now, why I'm bringing this up is we do have to look at the negative side of things and discuss what could happen if we continue to fall lower. Well, realistically, if we do not hold this support line, our next level support is going to be near $6,300 to $6,200. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy to think of, but if we do break this support line, it is very much likely that we will hit this level of around $6,300. Now, below that, we do have a very low price of around $4,000. Now, I personally don't think we will get that low, to the simple factor that people will be buying up at those prices, but that is where we would go next for the next level of support. But right now, things are looking solid. We are holding this level pretty strong when it comes to $8,400. We do just need to rebound back up and continue in our descending triangle movement, and within a couple weeks, it could be near the end of December, unfortunately, where we do reach the end of this descending triangle, is where we will get a decision of if we're going to break upwards or downwards, or where we're going to really go. I think the end of this year is going to be very fascinating when it comes to the deciding factor of Bitcoin. Are we going to crush it to the moon, or are we going to continue in this sort of bearish, stagnating market where we are trending sideways between $11,000 and $8,000 for much longer? I personally don't think that's the case. I think we still have a very bright future for cryptocurrencies, especially with big institutions jumping on board, and we even have Libra launching next year, and of course IBM is backing that project as well. A lot of exciting stuff, but in the grand scheme, it looks like this might be your opportunity to maybe consider making a position into Bitcoin or a handful of other altcoins. Of course, this is not financial advice. You need to make those decisions on your own. Do your own due diligence, because in the end, it is your money on the line, and I am just a YouTuber. So make sure, if you do decide to make a position, maybe dollar cost average your way in, whether that's up or down. That's always the safest route to go. But in the grand scheme, personally for me, I did just make a position into Bitcoin. I am going to be avoiding the altcoins right now, although they are at very interesting and juicy prices, because if we do continue to go lower, altcoins are really going to take a hit, and that's not really in my comfort zone right now to take a further hit on a newer position. So cryptocurrencies, I am keeping my an eye on to make a position in down the road, not right now, but in maybe a couple days. If we do turn this around, is going to be Binance Coin sitting roughly at $16, Cardano at 4 cents, Huobi token at $3.20, IOTA at 25 cents, and Chainlink under $2. Those are all cryptocurrencies I'm a very large advocate for, and I see some great potential in. So leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about this market? Do you think any of these factors that I mentioned played into the actual role of Bitcoin dropping drastically, or do you think it's something else? Also, are you buying Bitcoin right now, or are you buying altcoins, or are you staying on the sidelines? Leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next.